Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the Heritage and Home Crochet Podcast. I am your host Deja and I am so excited to be back here with you guys. It's been a little while and I'll explain that. So today in this episode, on top of explaining where I have been, I will also show you some of the things that I have been working on, as well as talk about what I will be discussing in the next video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing, the reason why it's taking me so long to get back here with another video is because I lost my Crochet. Yeah, it definitely was not ideal, but there was a lot going on. Towards the end of December, my husband and I went back to my hometown in North Carolina, and it was a chance to catch up and see everyone, but it was like seeing like 6 families in a span of like 4.5, 5 days, and it was a lot. On top of that, when I came back home, the end of December, and I was trying to get back into the groove of crocheting, I was pushing myself so hard to finish this sweater, and as a result, I got some tennis elbow happening and some carpal tunnel, and that definitely wasn't fun. Very important to take breaks and stretch. Use a massager. I oftentimes use a massager while I'm crocheting for long stretches of time, but this time I just didn't. I think I was just into the show that I was watching or listening to my audiobook, that I was just like kind of going to town on projects. So that happened. And normally when I lose my Crochet, I kind of just let it ride. Like, I just enjoy the break. I think it's my creative brain needing to take that break, to just kind of explore other things, or just to kind of have a rest. So I usually embrace that, and this time I did, just kind of put all my crochet away, tucked it back in the room where it goes, and just let it all marinate. And then in the meantime, I just explored books and TV shows and play with my doggy, and even tried to like look more into crocheting, but I didn't stop designing. Never stopped designing. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And then towards say like last week, I really wanted to kind of get my Crochet back. And I will make a whole entire video on this very soon, actually, about how I try to get my Crochet back, what I like to do, because I do like to try a few things, on top of how to take care of yourself while you are crocheting for long stretches of time, because ergonomics is very important. So that's something that we will definitely need to talk about in future video. So hydration. So yeah, that is that. My Crochet is regained and I am back to actively crafting and creating, and I'm so happy. I don't know why I'm singing a lot today. So now on to whips and faux. Okay, so I talked about this, just a twisted headband. It's just a very simple pattern. I just crocheted a longish rectangle, and so what I did was did a row of single crochet, and then a row of double crochet alternating front and back loop, a row of single crochet alternating front and back loop, and then so on. I did that for a total of like 7 rows, ending with a row of single crochets, and then in the front and back loop. And then I went around the entire square, or the entire rectangle, with 2 rows of single crochet. And then because I didn't want it to get longer this way anymore, and if I would have crocheted around again it would have gotten longer, I just crocheted on the bottom edge 1 or 2 more rows, and then crocheted on the top edge 1 or 2 more rows. and that's what gave me this rectangle. And then of course you align the edges, fold it like in this funky way, and then stitch it all the way across, snip your ends, boom, you're done. So I made that, and I was contemplating making a set of gauntlets to go along with this, but yeah, it's not working out. I don't know. So I'm not sure. But the reason I decided to crochet this is because something I'll talk about in my next video further is creating an Etsy shop. But I want to create things I want things to be sustainable. I want the Etsy shop to be sustainable. I don't want it to be these like big complex projects that I have to spend a ton of time on and it's a ton of money on. So what I did was take the Premier Just yarn from the Dollar Tree, which costs $1, well $1.25 now. So I took that yarn and I just busted this out. This took me all of like an hour to do, maybe a little bit more than an hour. It could probably take less too, like the more I just get the routine down in my head. But yeah, so I'm hopefully gonna make these. But what I think I'm gonna do, since I've tested it and like worn it, is I think I want to double this so that it's double thick, so that way it can be warmer as well as like just a bit sturdier and stay on your head better, because it was a kind of a flimsy and because there are holes in it, it was quite like windy and it was like biting wind. So you know, I was like, I need a little something thicker than this. So I think I'm gonna double this, the height of it, keep the width the same but double the height of it, and then fold it in half and crochet along that top edge, and then I can do the fancy twist with it and it'll be what I think it should be. Or maybe I have to crochet around the whole 3 edges. Probably not, actually, if I'm gonna. Anyways, I'm gonna test it out and I'm gonna update you guys on it. But this is the first thing that I have created and finished recently. On top of this, I want to make a couple of beanies, and then also a couple of scarves, and then maybe some gauntlets. So I want to start out the Etsy shop just with a few things, and we'll see how it goes. So that is the first thing that I made. Of course, this is the color Leaf of the Premier Just yarn. This is the color Denim. So I have yet to make anything with this one yet. So yeah, that is the first thing that I made. I haven't even found a name for it. I'm not even gonna, I probably won't create a name for it, but yeah. On the topic of things for my hopefully soon to be opened Etsy shop is gonna be a beanie. So this beanie I made for my husband. This is the second winter we're going into now with it. Definitely well loved. It's such a soft beanie. This is the yarn Tender Touch by the brand Yarn Bee in the color Olive. I believe it's in the color Olive. It's either Olive or Sage. I'm not sure. I think Sage is like actually a lighter color green, so this must be Olive. But yeah, and this hat is very, very nice. It's very soft, very like slouchy and fluffy feeling. The only thing is that because it is like 100% acrylic, I don't like the matting that happens with it. Like, of course I could like depil it and it'll look way better, and probably I will, but I think I'm gonna be on the hunt for another yarn that I feel like would hold up a lot better. So I am probably gonna be looking into some wool yarns, some more affordable wool yarns. I've never had a chance to try the Drops yarns, but I know a lot of people say that Drops is very affordable. Also, I'm gonna probably be doing a haul from Wool Warehouse very soon. Maybe not very soon, but soon, because I want to try out a lot of their different yarns, and it's pretty affordable if anybody's ever heard about it. I would love to know if you have ordered from Wool Warehouse, what you ordered, how you liked it, and what you thought about the entire experience of ordering from Wool Warehouse. So please let me know that. Yeah, but this beanie is very, very, very easy. It's literally just half double crochets all along. Well, so what you do is you chain 12 and you create a circle with it, and then you chain however long you want the beanie to be out of that circle of 12, and then you go back and forth and slip stitch into that circle at the top, and then just continue to do that until you close the circle, and then you just stitch it together and boom, you have a hat. It is so so super easy. Oh, of course you got to close the hole at the top, but it's so easy and very fast to make. Like I love those. I could probably pop those out too. I could probably make a couple of them in a day. So those are the types of things that I want to put inside of an Etsy shop if I should be fortunate enough to get one going in the year. I like how I completely forgot to talk about what I'm wearing. So yeah, I finished my sweater, which is the Brianna K Fair Isle Traveler sweater. And it's really nice. I'm gonna insert pictures, but this is what it looks like. I can't see if I'm in the frame, if I get, you know, I can't see, but this is what it looks like. I definitely deviated from the pattern. After a certain point, I stopped counting. After a certain point, I was like, I ain't following this pattern anymore. I was just really like ready to get done with the pattern. So I definitely deviated from it. As you can see, my sleeves are more of a 3/4 length sleeve. And I did that not just because I was like ready to be done with the pattern, but I really do prefer a 3/4 length sleeve. And instead of putting an actual ribbed cuff on it, I decided to just crochet a different color on the end. And I did that in the split single crochet or the waistcoat stitch, just because it can be like consistent with this. But I did that because to me it's so much better. I just don't really like to have much on my forearms. I just don't. I prefer a sweater like this. I think it's a lot more elegant. It shows a little bit of skin, but it's also not like vulgar in how it's done. And I just think it's very feminine. So I decided to keep it this way. A couple of notes about the design. I think it's a brilliant design. I love it. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. The only thing about it is that if you are going to make this, I did mistakenly make the size smaller than I needed to. For some reason, when I like made the ribbing, apparently I didn't make enough rows, which I thought I did. It's very hard for me to count rib stitching. Like I can't count the rows. Like I don't know. I have a hard time with that. So I always end up like doing it wrong. So I ended up making the small instead of the medium size. But for the arms, I had to use the large for the arms because it just was not enough. Enough like, yeah, room for me. So yeah, yeah, so that part of the pattern, I feel like for me I needed to adjust. But yeah, anyways, the pattern I think is great. I think is wonderful. I would say if you do have a tight gauge, definitely just make 2 sizes up. I did use a larger crochet hook for the yoke. I had to use an eye hook. Let me think about this. I used a J hook for this ribbing on the neck, and an I hook for the yoke, and then an H hook for the body. However, if you do have a tight gauge, I would suggest going up 2 sizes, or maybe even going up just a couple of crochet hook sizes, but that's what I did, and for me it still wasn't enough. So I would just like go ahead and make the size 2 above you, above what you normally wear, because this is it's a bit small for me. It's hard for me to get into it. Once I'm wearing it, it's fine. The stitches like relax and it's fine, but it's still too much. It's still like, it's definitely not my size. So we'll see how it continues to wear. But I do think that I would, if I ever made this again, I would make this in wool. This is acrylic. It's the Lion Brand Heartland, and it's okay. It's all right. I think it's really pretty, but it definitely has like, it's pilling already. I don't know if it's pilling. It's just fuzzy. It's like got this halo to it that like, I don't think it really has that in the skein. But anyways, so yeah, for the most part, I really like the sweater. I think it's really pretty. It's definitely a statement sweater. It's a conversation starter, although I haven't yet to wear it out. As you can see, I have to weave in my ends. What else is new? And yeah, yep. So I really love the sweater. The only thing is I really wish there were short rows in the back to lift up the back of the neck, because I feel like I'm choking a lot in the sweater, but that could simply be because I did make it a size smaller than I really needed it to be. Well, technically 2 size smaller, because if I were to actually make this, I would make it in an XL, because normally I'm a medium, so I would have to make it in an XL for it to actually fit me the way I want, because it's supposed to have positive ease, and obviously it like doesn't for me. And I think it's just the way that I crochet very tight, and I tried to crochet loosely, but I just don't. So I thought I was doing it, but I wasn't, apparently, because when I put this on, it didn't fit me the way I wanted it to fit. So anyways, there's that. I think, like I said, the design is wonderful. She did great. I just wish there were short rows, and I do wish there were sleeve options. You know, I feel like that's just me nitpicking. Goodness, this piece of hair. I do wish there were sleeve options, but that could just be me nitpicking. And you know, because I am naturally like a designer, I can easily just adjust the sleeves to how I want them to be, which is exactly what I did. But I know there are those who are like gonna strictly adhere to the pattern. I don't even know if I made as many rows as I was supposed to make, or if I made more or less. I just know that I have a short torso, so I stopped it where I felt like it needed to stop, you know, on the body of it. So I did that, and yeah, that's how it fits. It's pretty cute. I like it a lot. I will say I did have a hard time with the front and back loop alternating of the single crochet. I feel like they're supposed to alternate, and you're not supposed to stack stitches on top of each other of the same kind. Like in the back loop shouldn't be right on top of in the back loop. It should be on top of in the front loop. However, a lot of times I found that I was mixed up, and so you'll see some like inconsistencies in the pattern, but I think it looks kind of cool, so I don't mind it at all. But yeah, this is yeah, I don't know if this is a disaster or not. I really don't know. I really like it, but like, I don't know. So maybe I'll try something like this again soon, but for the most part, for the next, you know, couple of projects I'm going to be working on, they're going to kind of be more simpler, because I really want to work on the shaping aspect of things. But as far as the construction of this is pretty easy. The color work is really what was the challenge of this this particular project. But yeah, so anyways, there you have it. I really like it. The slip stitch ribbing was a challenge for me at first, but I think I really am getting the hang of it. So yeah, there's that. So those are my 2 completed items that I have to show you since coming back. And now for my whips. So a couple of things that I'm working on. Like I mentioned, I'm working on a sock. So I know I told you guys about the Peyton's Crochet sock yarn that I got from Michael's in the blue raspberry, that just called my name and told me to make a sock with it. And I was like, honey, I'm taking you home and I will make a sock with you. So I began on making a sock. So this is it so far. Of course the heel will be last, but yeah. So the thing about this sock is that I love the colors. It definitely doesn't, like the way the patterning is going, it doesn't look how I wanted it to look, but I always have like the idea of knitting in my head when I think about how pattern is going to play out, but in crocheting it always looks completely different. So I just kind of need to get used to that. So for the most part, this is how the sock is looking. Yeah, I split for the heel. This is, I'm just kind of crocheting from memory of when I made a sock like 4 years ago. It was a Happy Berry crochet design of like a simple, I think, toe up sock, but I'm doing mine the opposite way. I started from the ankle down and then skip the heel, and then I'll make the toe and then come all the way back for that. But yeah, this is one of the designs, but this I didn't put any stretch to it when I actually measured it on my ankle. So when I put it on, it's actually a bit too loose around my ankle. So I started a new one like this, and I'm actually starting a new design. So I'll probably finish this sock out if I don't like it, I'll like rip it out and do another design. But yeah, I'm trying to experiment right now on what design I actually want to use so that I may potentially publish one. So yeah, there is that sock. So yeah, for the most part, that is pretty much what I'm working on. I do have a couple of new things that I would like to show you all. I did allude to this prim hook that I recently bought. I got it from Michael's. I want to say it was about $7. This is in the size E, and this is what I'm using to create my sock pattern. This is completely single crochets. This is a slip stitch ribbing. Told you I was getting better at it. Yeah, so this is how this is working, and it crochets like butter. Like, I wish I could show you. Let's see if I can. I don't even know if this is gonna be good. I might have to take this out, but we'll see. And I really love this yarn. I really love it. It has that crunch, like, you know it's gonna be sturdy. So yeah, it's just, it crochets very smoothly. I really like it. It doesn't typically split yarn. Sometimes I've had that, but this is a pretty splitty yarn. It's very easy for it to be split because of the way it's woven or spun, twisted, however you want to say it. But yeah, I really like it. It's very slender. It's ergonomic. I love the tip of it. It's like a perfect tip, the way I like it to be. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really nice. So anyways, that is the first new thing that I got. The second new thing that I got is I don't have a row counter. I didn't have one until I got this one. This is the Clover row counter. I got this one from Michael's as well. I don't even remember how much it cost, but it wasn't much. Actually, all of this I used coupons on, and got it like 20% off on top of like an additional $10 off. That is what I do love about Michael's, is that you can use coupons upon coupons, and it's awesome. So yeah, this is the Clover row counter. You just click it and it changes your rows. And in order to go back to 0, you just twist up. I missed it. Boom, back to 0. There's that. So that's the second new thing I bought. And then the third new thing that I've gotten is a skein of yarn. I got this just a couple of days ago. I've been eyeing it at Walmart, but I have a ton of cotton yarn that I really need to get through. So I really don't enjoy working with cotton yarns, and this is the main reason why I didn't want to get this, because I have other yarns that I could crochet with. But this one was really calling out to me. I just feel like it has this fall vibe to it, and it just feels very rustic, and I could just see some really cute dishcloths out of this. So I was like, I really want to get it. And they're like $2 a skein, and you can probably get 2 dishcloths out of it, maybe like 1.5. So I decided to just get this, and I got 2 skeins of it, and I did start working on a pattern for it. It's not really a pattern. I mean, it's just the moss stitch. Everybody knows I love a good moss stitch, because I like the look of it. It creates this really cute design, and I don't like the look of traditional lined crochet, like just single crochet back to back. I don't like that, especially in certain yarns. So the moss stitch to me is really nice because you're still utilizing single crochets, but it creates a really nice design, and has this really beautiful symmetry to it, and like regularness, but that's not, like, it creates this cohesive single sheet of fabric as opposed to like the lined fabric. So anyways, I'll show you what basically I have started to make with it. Yeah, it's just a dishcloth. This is actually upside down, I think. Yeah, this is like 2 rows, I think. Yeah, like 2, maybe 3 rows, I don't know, 2 rows probably. Yeah, and this is the Peaches and Cream original, and this is in the color 12020. Does it actually have a name? I guess not. Oh yeah, it's called Oasis. Sorry, there's like another sticker that was really confusing. This one's called Oasis. Anyways, so that's all for new things. That's all for whips right now. I do have, of course, other whips that you guys have seen in the past, but I have not made any progress on them, and that is why they do not appear in this video. Now, a note about when I went to go and visit my family, I told my sister that I was working on something for her, the blanket, and instead of being able to finish it, she wanted me to teach her to crochet, which I was like, girl, yeah, of course. So yeah, I decided to teach her to crochet, and she loved it. She picked it up really, really quickly. I love the way she crochets. It's so cute. And right after that, she went out and bought more crochet hooks, even though I gave her my Clover H hook, and she decided she wanted some more hooks. So she decided she wanted a full set, I guess, of different sizes. So she went out and did that. And I'm so excited to finally have another person to discuss crocheting with, especially modern crocheting. So yeah, that is all for today's video. Actually, in my next video, which will be coming out very soon after this one, I am going to be talking about things that I learned from 2021 in regards to my yarn crochet crafter journey, and then also goals that I'm looking forward to achieving in the 2022 year. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning into the video today. I really thoroughly enjoyed making this video for you. Please leave your comments down below. Tell me what you're crocheting lately, if you've ever lost your Crojo, how you like to get it back, and also if you've ever shopped at Wool Warehouse, how you enjoyed that experience. So without any more rambling on, I'm gonna get on out of here, so you guys have a great night. Goodbye.